My name is Angela.
My name is Nicole.
And welcome to the Ominous Stitch podcast. Hello, Stitchers! Oh, that was awesome. I turned and caught Nicole snapping a pic.
I had to.
That's going to be on our Instagram. I think she's trying to get me dancing.
I'm just trying to get us getting podcasting in here.
Get the podcast
Get
going. So let's get going. I'm excited for this episode.
This is exciting.
This is an episode that I have been wanting to do.
Yes.
And it's such a massive topic that
It's
we're going to
huge.
have to do and the subject is huge too. We're going to have to do so many podcasts on this eventually.
We will pick them up.
Because there's no way I can cover
A bunch
nearly
about this.
half or even scratch the surface of this. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too. I'm excited.
And you were holding the world's cutest thing. And did you know you dressed to match him today? Look at how cute you are.
I channeled my Pacific Northwest
Yeah, you
colors,
did. Yeah, you
and
did.
so
We are talking Pacific Northwest.
yeah.
She is holding a very cute, snuggly creature, although the real one that we're going to be talking about later
It's not very
is not very
snuggly.
snuggly, but I think super cute.
It's cute.
Bigfoot! Our very first Bigfoot
What's up,
episode.
Sasquatch?
What up, Sasquatch?
Yeah.
And so we're going to very, very, very lightly scratch the surface of Bigfoot. We will do many of him because he is my favorite cryptid.
Yeah, me
I
too.
love Bigfoot.
Oh yeah.
So
This is a fun one.
this is going to
I'm
be
excited.
a super fun podcast.
Yeah.
So let's go into stitches so we can get to story time sooner.
Okay. Look at you.
I'm excited.
You're cute.
What has you in stitches, Nicole?
What has me in stitches? It's very opposite of the last week. So I had my first Reiki session. Yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was weeks ago, obviously, when this airs. But yeah, I had my first Reiki session.
I wanted to hear about this.
Yeah,
You've
that's what I
been
wanna-
keeping this a secret from me.
well, because I was like, oh, this is a good stitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me.
No, it was really cool. It was very relaxing. It was 50 minutes long.
So your good friend, who is the mom of one of your kids.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Not mom of your kid, but your kid's friend.
That would be me. That would make sense. Yes. A good friend is a mom. Okay. Anyway, so she dabbles in Reiki and it's awesome. She's getting more into it. She's, known about this and herself for a long time. So it was 50 minutes long and it was very, very calming. And she explained it's very similar to a massage where you fall asleep a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Or you're kind of half dreaming, but half awake.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool because it's at one point. So she actually touched me and not just put her hands over me because I said, that's fine. I don't care. And at one point she put it on my shoulders up here where I have all my tension. And
Yeah. Did you just feel it go away?
I felt tingling. It
Oh,
was
that's so cool.
weird. Yeah. Cause everywhere else was kind of just normal. But when she touched me there, my arms tingling kind of went down.
Oh, that's cool.
My arms. Yeah.
That's so cool.
And she's like, yeah. And then really it doesn't matter where I touch you because usually the energy will move.
It does. It moves. Did you
wherever
feel
you
it
need it.
move?
That's the only place where I kind of felt it moving. Everywhere else, I was just kind of relaxed and it just felt warm and calming. And what's funny though, after I was done, I was like, oh, this was great. I get home and I'm all grumpy. And I think it just I needed to work later because she explained it. She's like, it takes some time too. It's still kind of like a massage. It kind of goes through you for a few, days.
It has
or so.
to work through your system.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I'm so cool about everything now.
I know you're so happy. You're in the best mood ever right
know.
now.
So maybe it kind of had to work itself through. And now I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So it was really awesome. I'm so thankful I was able to do it. Thank you. Shout out. And yeah, maybe I'll do more in the future. But that was a really cool experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've had several versions of Reiki happen at different points in my life. So one time, this is interesting because it was before your time at the university that we used to work together at.
Yeah.
The woman that held your position before you.
Oh, gosh.
You know who I'm talking
Yes,
about?
I do.
Okay. So I was pregnant with my first child and she came over to my office and she told me that she studied Reiki and wanted to do a quick little session on my belly. And I was like, okay.
Sure.
And so she just, very lightly put her hands over, wasn't touching, but over. And I could feel the baby move toward her.
Whoa.
And she would just kind of move her hand and I could feel everything move around. So that was really cool to feel that.
Wow.
And then another time I had a student that would also do like zero balancing, and then she would also work with crystals. And so zero balancing is more hands-on, but you feel it's energy movement too. So she would put her hands on certain parts of my body.
Yeah.
And I could feel the energy shift.
Yeah.
And then I also have a little bit, what is it called when you see colors?
Aura.
Synesthesia.
Oh, I don't know what it is. I just know that's your aura, right? Like
aura, yes. Aura is you see colors over that. But like a lot of times when I'm doing something, a lot of people will experience this when they're making music or listening to music, they'll see colors.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
makes sense.
That happens to me sometimes. I'll see colors. And so while this session was happening and I could feel things moving around, first things were kind of pink and then everything went to a very white. Everything was just white. And it was really cool. And I was very calm and very peaceful. Yeah.
Oh,
so it was really
that.
neat.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I've had, a couple of little sessions here and there.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool thing to feel how your energy does move and how you are connected, and it just reminds me that we are in essence energy. We're just in a shell.
Well, that's what we keep talking about with spirits and things. It's just,
I feel like I'm yelling because I'm so excited. But so it's really cool to have that experience and have that reminder that like, we can manipulate each other's energy. You can manipulate your own energy. You can move it.
Yes.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep. So that was
you.
That was my good stitch.
Yay.
Yeah. And what about you, Angela?
So what has me in stitches is we had a little bit of an adventure time happen here.
Adventure time.
At the Ranchito in Southern California. We live in Southern California.
Yes.
And our house, our new farm, which you all know, I moved to a new farm, is located off of a dirt road.
Right.
Right?
Right. And it feels like you're landing on an airplane when you drive into your gravel.
When you get off the paved road and you turn onto the gravel road, you feel like you're landing in an airplane.
I love it. I always think about, I'm like, oh, I'm in a plane. I just landed. Okay. Yes.
So it's cool. But, most of the time it's totally fine.
Yes.
To
dry.
It's dry. Southern California.
We're
we
hot
don't
and
get a
dry.
lot of rain.
Yeah.
We did get a lot of rain this week.
We did get a lot of rain.
A lot of rain and a lot of wind.
Yes.
So I was driving my husband's truck. So he has this big F-350, massive monster truck. It's
just like our episode.
Beautiful. Huge. Yes. It's beautiful. I love this truck. He loves this truck. It's fantastic. So I was driving it. I went to pick up the kids from school and then we were coming home from school. While I was gone, like these rivers showed up on the dirt road because there's all these low points and we had a ton of rain that just happened.
Right.
And so everything was flooding out. And I was like, I'm going to get stuck in this river. I'm going to get stuck in the mud.
Like drainage for it, huh?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
We have a like we call it the ravine, Clayton Ravine after Back to the Future. Yeah.
Yep.
So we have Clayton Ravine on our property, which is the low point for all of the drainage to go. If you guys hear any beating, it's my dog's tail. she's coming over to give Nicole loves because she loves her so
there was
much.
A big steady drum beat and that was her tail.
That's my dog. Okay. Yeah, anytime you hear a drum beat, it is most likely my dog needing attention.
You're so cute.
Because Nicole is her favorite.
You're one of my favorites. I love doggies. Okay. So we got Clayton Ravine.
We got Clayton Ravine. So anyway, there are low points on the dirt road as you're driving by and rivers are happening. So that was like adventurous enough to be like, ooh, am I going to make it through this river? Am I going to get swept away? I don't know. But, we made it back to our property. Everything's fine. Good. And if you aren't in a river, you're in a bunch of thick peanut buttery mud. Right? And so I'm like, I'm going to get stuck in the mud. Yeah. And this is a big, heavy truck. So I'm like, I'm going to get stuck in the mud. I'm going to be able to ford the river, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we made it back to the property. It was fine. And then I go to open the gate. So we have 2 gates on our property. One is motorized and one is padlocked. Okay. And so I went to the motorized gate because that's the one that takes us to the driveway. And so I went to open the gate and I hit the button and the gate started to open a little bit. And then just as it started to open, a huge gust of wind slammed it shut.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh no, that's not good.
Yeah.
So then I waited for the wind to die down. And yes, it's still raining. And I waited for the wind to die down a little bit. And then I hit the button again and it started to open. Another big gust of wind blew and slammed the gate shut. Yes.
Oh no.
And I was like, we're not going to be able to get in the house.
How
are we
going
to
get
in?
Like get out and push it. Could they do that?
No, because I tried. I got out
in
in the rain and I'm like trying to push the gate open and it it won't open. It's motorized. It's closed. It won't open.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, guys, we're going to have to go up to the next gate. And I had the keys for the padlock, thank God, in my purse. And so I'm like, well, we'll just go up to the next gate and we'll park at the barn. And then we'll just have to walk through the mud and the rain and cross the bridge to get.
Did kids have rain boots or anything?
No, they were just wearing their regular school shoes. So like,
gosh.
it's Southern California. We don't have rain boots.
Yeah,
Miss, I'm from Pacific Northwest. We wear rain boots.
I've got they're like waterproof boots, but not rain boots.
Yeah. Okay. So we have to drive up to the next gate.
Oh no!
And cross another big river to get up to the next gate. I'm like,
it's the Oregon Trail.
I feel like I'm pushing my luck. I don't want to ford another river.
Right.
But anyway, so we go up to the next gate. I hop out. I'm like struggling with the keys to try to get the padlock open. I get the padlock open. I'm getting drenched in rain.
No.
My feet are sinking in the mud.
Yay.
I get the padlock off and I try to push the gate open, but there's so much mud that's built up behind the gate. It won't open.
No.
I can't get it open.
Oh my gosh.
Like, what is wrong? I can't get into my property.
That sucks.
And I'm like, how do I get home? How do I get my kids inside? And my oldest daughter is like, I have to go potty.
No, that's of course, to add on all the fun there.
Of course. So I'm like panicking. I'm like, she's going to pee in her pants if I don't get her inside. And so then I'm like, okay, this is a single lane road. That's, parts of it, there's rivers going through and the rest of it is all mud. I'm like, okay, I have to back up to the other gate and try to open it again because I can't get this padlock open and I got to get my kids inside. So I try to back up and I can't. And so then I just go forward and find another spot where I can turn around and then go back. It's fine. Okay. So I get back to the motorized gate and it's making this chirping sound.
Oh no.
I'm like, why is my gate chirping?
Uh-oh.
And it needed to be reset. So the button, I would push the button, nothing would work.
Right.
It wasn't opening. It wasn't budging. It wasn't doing anything. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to have to hop the fence here. So I get out of the car. I pull the car up next to the house and I park as close as I can because it is a 1-lane road and it was trash day for some people.
Course.
And so,
Even more.
there's big, trash trucks driving by.
Yep.
And it's a big truck, but, I pulled it over and then I was like, okay, I'm going to hop the fence here. And I climb over the fence.
You climbed it?
I did.
Good job.
I hopped over the fence and then I went inside and got a step ladder and then came back out. I was like, okay, kids, climb over use the step ladder here, climb over the fence, hand me your stuff, we'll get over. So everyone climbed over the fence.
Nice.
We got them safe inside the house.
Oh, good.
And I went over to the gate and there's a phone number on the motor of the gate. So I called them and the guy was like, if you go over to the breaker and if you see a breaker that's marked gate, you can just turn it off and that should reset it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went over to the breaker box and found it and reset the gate and then it worked. Like from that point on, I was able to open and close the gate. I was able to go get the truck and bring it back in and park it. Everything was fine.
Yay.
But that took like at least a half hour to try to get everybody in the house.
And the half hour felt forever.
Yes, because it was cold and rainy and windy.
You want to get
and I just wanted to get inside.
You're right outside your house.
Yes.
That's the worst.
It was terrible. Wait. But then I felt super awesome because I fixed the gate.
I know.
was like, look at
did
me.
It.
I'm such a rock star. I can fix the gate.
So you can't get in from the front here, right? Your front gate. There's you have a front yard.
Yes.
Could you not climb over? There's
that's where I climbed over.
Right here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I climbed over.
I thought you climbed over your actual.
Oh no.
Yeah.
There's no way. I can't climb over that gate. That gate is
it's very
6.5, 7 feet tall. And then it's got spikes on top of it.
Oh,
so.
Okay. I didn't even know that.
There's no way.
I was like, how did she do that?
So no,
That's
I climbed
so cool.
over the white vinyl fencing.
Okay.
Which was sketchy enough because it's vinyl. It's not going to hold a lot of weight.
It's very flimsy. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to break this gate. And so when the kids were climbing over, I was like, hand me all your stuff. Don't carry your backpacks. Just climb over climb over the fence. And it held up. It was fine.
It's like a training exercise.
I'm sorry. It was a crazy ordeal. It was fun. It was an adventure.
Good. You got home.
We got
obviously.
home. We got in. Nobody wet their pants.
And you figured
our pants were wet, but we didn't wet our
not
pants.
Internally.
And then I fixed the gate.
And you fixed the gate. Hey, good job, Mama.
I just flipped a breaker.
Did you have a drink after it all?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
It's like you deserve something after that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of big ordeal.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
It just doesn't rain very often here, so I totally get it.
Yeah, we don't have any experience in that. So it was kind of crazy. crazy.
But now you do.
But now I do.
And now you know what to do next time.
Yes. I know
Good
how to
job.
hop the fence and fix the gate. So
You should have YouTubed that whole thing.
No.
This is what you do.
My brain, like, I never think about taking video of it.
Yeah.
Until
Of course, nobody does.
way after the fact.
Yeah.
I'm not a good
20/20.
YouTuber.
Yeah. No, you're all good. I get it.
And my husband's like, come on, everything is content. Everything is content. Everything. And I'm like, I can't
No,
think
don't even
that way.
think
It
about
doesn't even.
You're just trying to problem solve at that moment. I get it. You're being a mom.
I try.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You did it.
I did it.
Congrats.
I did it. Yeah.
I'm so
Thank
proud of
you. Thank you. It was an exciting day.
Oh, I can't imagine. Well, I'm ready for some Sasquatch.
I'm ready for
some Bigfoot.
You guys have no idea how adorable this guy is. He's so derpy. He's so cute. I
want to
love
talk
it.
about him?
I can't wait. Let's
right.
get stitching.
So, because Miss Angela's doing Bigfoot, I decided to find a free amigurumi pattern, and it's a little Sasquatch, and I found the most derpiest one. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Angela
He's
was
so
saying.
derpy.
Because I like them. I didn't want to make them like scary, and so I found this one. So there's some things I want to talk about it, and that Angela is going to help me with and discuss this. But
And I love the little sprigs of hair you did on top
Yeah,
of it.
because
That makes
that's-
it even better.
right, that made it. I was like, I looked at it, I was like, it has to have hair. It doesn't even say that in the pattern.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
that
in the
was you
picture.
added that?
No,
Oh,
it's in the
no,
picture.
it's in the picture. Yeah.
But she didn't put it in the pattern. And I was
Oh.
like, dude, I'm going to add
You
it.
totally got to add the
Yeah,
hair.
it's
so
perfect.
cute.
Yeah, I'll post pictures. He might be one of our giveaways too, because we still need to do a bunch of giveaways.
Yes, we do.
But as I was saying, this pattern, as we've talked about before, is on Ravelry.
Yay, Ravelry.
Ravelry, and it's posted by She's Crafty Crochet, and it's a free pattern, so go check it out. But it's her Sasquatch and Yeti. You can do either or.
Yes.
And I love that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. So you'll look at the pictures. The Yeti has like a little face you can crochet onto it or attach to it. And then the Sasquatch, you put, safety eyes, and then you crochet a little nose and mouth onto it. My biggest concern with this, which I keep showing Miss Angela, okay, so
Yeah.
you have to do, what are these called again?
Those are bobble stitches.
Bobble stitches. Okay. So the feet and the arms have bobble stitches.
Yeah, for the toes.
You gotta make 'em have big feet.
You gotta have big feet.
Right.
Big toes.
Big toes. And then you continue with the main body color after you do like the feet and the hands.
Yes.
Now, the stitching, you cannot change after you do those.
You can't
bubble
turn it
stitches.
inside out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you usually do when you're doing amigurumi. If you've never done amigurumi,
Yes.
the wrong side is the side you want facing out.
Yes.
So you turn it inside out.
You always
at some
turn it
point.
inside
Yeah.
out, and then the stitching's kind of more horizontal. Okay?
Yes.
But if you don't do it, it's vertical. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Like the
Yeah.
arms
It just
actually are
looks
kind of cool.
different.
It's different.
Yeah.
So when I was doing the feet, you have to do these big legs and big feet, right? And then you make them separately, and then you join them once you do the second foot and then or leg, and then you continuously do it. But what happened to my Sasquatch, it looks totally different from the photo, is that the legs have that vertical stitch, and then when I joined them, it has the regular amigurumi stitch.
Right.
So-
So did she not flip hers
No.
inside out?
No, there's nothing. You saw the pattern, but I'll show you again.
Yeah.
But it's just continuous. Then you just kind of join it into the body.
Okay.
So I was very confused. So my little Sasquatch has kind of different legs than his body. It's not a huge difference.
But he's still
He's
so
still
stinking
really cute. But somebody tell me what I can do to fix this, because if you want to try to do what she does, her picture is perfect. Like, it's continuous.
Yes.
So I don't know.
So in essence, it's hard to describe, but when we post our picture, you'll be
You'll
able
see
to
it.
see that the stitching is different on the legs
This and the
than
arms,
in the main body.
and the arms are fine because that's kind of separate. But it's when you
Right.
have the legs continuing into the body. That's my biggest concern about this pattern.
But he's upset. He's upside. That his legs are. The pattern doesn't stay the same. It adds to his beautiful derpiness.
He's very derpy though, but it's really cute. It's bigger than I thought it would be too. It's like a good sized amigurumi. It's not like a tiny amigurumi Sasquatch.
No, he's so cute.
So check it out. Ravelry, She's Crafty Crochet. And if you just Google the Sasquatch and Yeti, he's about, what do you say? He's like a good 7 to 8 inches tall, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and you can use, I used Miss Angela's yarn.
Yes, she did.
They called for a 4.5 millimeter hook. But when I was here, I think you only had a 4 hook, right? That I could use.
I think I was using the 4.5.
Yes.
So then I gave you a
The
different
4.
hook. Yeah.
And then I took it home and I started using a 4. So I used a 4 hook and it still came out really big.
Yeah. So if
Which
you
is
use
cool.
the 4.5, he's going to be slightly larger.
Yeah.
But he's still a good size.
No, I
amigurumi.
love this
He's
size.
so cute.
He's perfect. So check it out. We're going to put it on social media. I'm not going to go on too much because we got a big story to go into. But like I said, he's already ready to go. So we might do a big giveaway. Maybe you can tell us a Bigfoot story or something to get him. And then we'll
comment on
send
our
you.
socials and tell us your best Bigfoot story.
Yeah. Even if
And
it's
we'll-
not your story, maybe if
Yeah.
you've heard it through the grapevine.
And we'll pick a winner and we will send you our Sasquatch.
Yes. He's pretty cool.
He's so cute.
You can name him, but he's very derpy.
Oh, I love it. I
All
love
right.
him so much. His face. You guys, you're just going to fall in love with his face.
He's so
It's
cute.
so cute.
He's so cute. All right, Angela.
Yeah.
Is it story time?
It's story time. Okay, Stitchers.
Yeah.
Are you ready for some Bigfoot
Oh
talk?
my gosh, I'm so ready. I'm so ready. I'm so excited.
I love Bigfoot. There's so much
Oh, so much.
about Bigfoot. We
He's
are
worldwide.
barely going to scratch the surface.
That's okay.
We're going to stay kind of local. So what we're going to do, I have a couple of questions that I wrote down
Okay.
to just kind of like introduce Bigfoot. My dog's tail is back. To kind of introduce Bigfoot and kind of get to know a little bit of the background. You might hear a story or two of some Bigfoot sightings.
Okay.
And eventually we will do more Bigfoot episodes and get more detailed about certain areas
Okay.
of the Bigfoot lore.
Yay.
Whether you believe in Bigfoot or not, he's still incredibly fascinating.
Holy cow. It's
There's
worldwide,
so
like I said.
much
So
about
much.
him.
Yeah.
So let's get into Bigfoot.
Yay.
Okay, my first question is,
Okay.
what is a Bigfoot?
A foot that is big.
A foot that is big. Well, interestingly enough, there have been people in history that have been called Bigfoot because they have big feet and they were like
Interesting.
chiefs and
That was
stuff.
their name?
That was their name. So to not be confused
okay.
with historical people that were also called Bigfoot,
Okay.
Bigfoot is most often described as a large, muscular, and bipedal. That's an important thing, which means they walk
Bipedal.
on 2 feet. Bipedal ape-like creature covered in black, dark brown, or dark reddish hair.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
They also are known to live apart from normal society. So that means they live most of the time, their habitats are in heavily wooded areas.
Sure.
Okay. We like to think about Bigfoot in the United States and in Canada being mostly in the Pacific Northwest and in the wooded areas.
Right.
Bigfoot is seen all over the United States.
Yes.
And we'll get into some places where he's seen and some states that have the most sightings of Bigfoot a little bit later.
Okay.
But right now for today, and Bigfoot, as you mentioned, is seen all around the world.
Oh my gosh.
Every single country has stories of Bigfoot or hairy man.
Yes.
That's kind of the origin of Bigfoot.
Okay.
But we're going to concentrate mostly on the U.S.
Okay.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the history, but we will talk about where Bigfoot is in other places in the world. See, that's another spin-off episode.
Oh,
when we
that's
talk
going to be
about
so
other
much
places.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So here is the description of Bigfoot according to Wikipedia.
Get it. Wikipedia.
Where do you start when you talk about Bigfoot?
Oh,
Wikipedia.
yeah, you
It
have
kind
to.
of condenses everything
helps.
down.
Yes.
And I do have other sources that I will cite as well.
Okay.
But this is the description according to Wikipedia.
Get it.
Okay. Anecdotal descriptions estimate a height of roughly 1.8 to 2.7 meters or 6 to 9 feet.
I was going to say, I don't know meters. Okay. Good.
Well, I'll give you feet too.
Thank you.
With some descriptions having the creature standing as tall as 3.0 to 4.6 meters or 10 to 15 feet tall.
Whoa, that's tall.
That's insanely tall.
That's really big.
I hear him about 9 feet.
Oh, okay.
8 to 9
The
feet
average
is where,
is 9?
yeah,
Okay.
that's where a lot of people, oh, you're okay.
Okay.
That's where a lot of people kind of place him around the 9-foot range.
Okay.
Some alleged observations describe Bigfoot as more man-like, with reports of a human-like face. In 1971, multiple people in the Dalles, Oregon, filed a police report describing an overgrown ape.
Ooh.
And one of the men claimed to have sighted the creature in the scope of his rifle, but could not bring himself to shoot it because it looked more human than animal.
Good.
Okay.
There's okay, real quick.
Yes.
There's a podcast I listen to that I
Yes.
love. It's the Paranormal Almanac. He says, don't shoot Bigfoot. That's his big thing.
No. And we can talk about why we don't shoot Bigfoot.
Yes.
Later, because there's some things that will be another spin-off podcast.
Yeah,
about
but he
Bigfoot.
says don't effing shoot Bigfoot. That's his big thing.
Yeah, don't because we might
There's
be
a lot of
descendant of. Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay,
We'll get there.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay,
I will
go.
hint at it in this
You
podcast,
get
and
it.
that will be another podcast
Thank
that we
you.
get to.
Okay,
but no,
Don't
do
shoot
not
him.
shoot Bigfoot.
Okay.
Common descriptions also include broad shoulders, no visible neck, and long arms, which skeptics describe as likely misidentification of a bear standing upright. That's the common thing is like, it's just the bear standing up. But the face is not the same.
He's got little ears. He's got bear face. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Right. It's not a human face. Bears don't have human faces. So some alleged nighttime sightings have stated that the creature's eyes glowed yellow or red. Okay. Keep this in mind.
Okay.
Glowing eyes.
Glowing eyes.
We've talked about glowing eyes with other creatures before.
Yes, we have.
Okay. Keep that in the back of your head. Mothman. Aliens. Yellow eyes.
Yellow eyes. Okay.
However, eyeshine is not present in humans or any other known apes.
Right.
And so proposed explanations of observable eyeshine off the ground on the forest include owls, raccoons, or opossums perched in foliage.
Oh, yeah. They're tiny.
Yes.
They're on the ground. You know that's different.
But if it's like on a perch,
branch,
like 8 or 9 feet
but
up,
you don't see a body.
no, you just see the eyeshine.
Exactly. That's stupid. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, people want to explain things away.
Yeah,
if they don't understand what it is, they're trying to explain it away because they don't want to, believe that they're seeing something that they've never seen before. Okay. This is a description of the odor of them. So
they stink.
They stink, right?
Yeah.
Michael Rugg, owner of the Bigfoot Discovery Museum in Northern California, claims to have smelled Bigfoot, stating, imagine a skunk that has rolled around in dead animals and had hung around the garbage pits.
Ew.
Right?
Ew.
A very distinctive
That's pretty stinky.
odor. Yes. The enormous footprints for which the creature is named are claimed to be as large as 610 millimeters or 24 inches.
Thank you.
Long and and 200 millimeters or 8 inches wide.
Pretty big.
2 feet long.
Pretty big.
For a foot. And 8 inches wide.
Okay.
That's
huge,
right?
Yeah.
Some footprint casts have also contained claw marks, which are not known as a Bigfoot.
No.
Bears.
I was going to say bears
which have,
most...
5 toes and claws.
And claws, yeah.
Yeah. So a bear footprint can get cast and people think, ooh, it's a Bigfoot because it is a Bigfoot and it's got 5 toes.
Yeah.
But if it has claws, then it's a bear.
It's a bear.
Those footprints are debunked.
Right.
There are many, 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 many other footprints that are definitely not bear, more human-like, that fit the... You guys know. If you are Bigfooters, you guys know all of this. I'm not telling you anything new here.
I feel like anybody that doesn't even really talk about Bigfoot and saw that kind of a footprint, they would know it's Bigfoot. So
right.
I think it's like a sense, like human beings, human nature.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So where did Bigfoot come from?
Where did he come from?
Where did he come from? So you tell me, where do you think that the legend of Bigfoot, and we're just going to say legend of Bigfoot because these are stories that have been passed down. So where do you think these originated?
Probably Native American.
So a lot of people go back to Native America, right? Native Americans, they definitely have stories of the hairy man, which is what they called him. And then they also have different names for him.
Okay.
Right. I'm going to read some of those stories, but then we're going to go back even further for stories of the hairy man. Okay. So according to Wikipedia again, many of the indigenous cultures across the North America continent include tales of mysterious hair-covered creatures living in forests. Hairy man. And according to anthropologist David Daegling, I think that's how you say D-A-E-G-L-I-N-G. These legends existed long before contemporary reports of Bigfoot. These stories differed in their details, both regionally and between families in the same community, because they were, passed down from person to person. Some stories can kind of change, but they all have histories of the hairy man all across Northern America. And we have a petroglyph. We have a picture of a petroglyph at Painted Rock right here. And do you see?
Yeah.
There's hairy man right there.
So are the other two? So there's 3 figures on this petroglyph, and is it the man's in the middle?
Yes, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
So on the Tool River Indian Reservation in Central California,
California.
petroglyphs created by a tribe of Yakuts at a site called Painted Rock are alleged by some to depict a group of Bigfoot called the family. So they're all Bigfoot right there. Yeah, see this baby one.
Yes, okay.
They're all over here.
Aww.
And I think these are
the humans.
Yeah.
Holy cow, they're so
Right?
tiny.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So the local tribes people call the largest of the glyphs Hairy Man, and they are estimated to be between 500 and 1,000 years old.
Wow.
16th century Spanish explorers and Mexican settlers in California told tales of the Los Vigilantes Oscuros, or dark watchers. Right? That's ominous.
That's very ominous.
Large creatures alleged to stalk their camps at night. In the region that is now Mississippi, a French Jesuit priest was living in the Natchez it's a river, Natchez River, in 1721, and reported stories of hairy creatures in the forest known to scream loudly and steal livestock. Right? So 1721, but 1,000 years old is how old we're getting so far.
So the one in 1721, he heard them, but he didn't see them?
Yes,
okay.
He heard them. I don't know if he saw them, but he heard them.
Interesting. Okay.
Ecologist Robert Pyle argues that most cultures have accounts of human-like giants in their folk history, expressing a need for some larger-than-life creature. Each language has its own name for the creature featured in the local version of such legends. Many names mean something along the lines of wild man or hairy man, although other names describe common actions that it was said to perform, such as eating clams or shaking trees. So those are different ways that they used to describe the people. So in the book Bigfoot, The Life and Times of Legend by Joshua Blue Booz, this is what he says about Bigfoot. So let me get to it. So the Epic of Gilgamesh, written almost 2,000 years BC.
Whoa.
And is one of the first written documents, features Enkidu. That's how you say it. Enkidu.
Nice.
Who was a wild man with hair that sprouted like grain. Enkidu ate with the gazelles, drank at the watering holes with other animals, and protected beasts from hunters.
Wow.
So 2,000 years BC, we have representation of hairy man.
That is so long ago.
In one of the first written accounts, right?
Wow.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Also, in Genesis 6:4, we're going to the Bible.
What?
Right? Genesis 6:4 says, "The giants were on the earth in these days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of men and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. Esau, who is Jacob's brother, was a hairy hunter."
A hunter?
Yes, he hunted the hairy man.
Why?
Right? I don't know why they hunted him. They were scared of him, but yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So biblical references of the hairy man, right?
Okay.
Enkidu. 2,000 years BC. I had no idea the legends went back that far.
That's crazy.
Right? So that was like, whoa, that made me so excited. In Pliny the Elder's book of natural history, and Pliny the Elder was a Roman writer, he claimed that a number of monstrous races wandered across the world. Bestiaries after Pliny's book continued to include wild men all the way, let me turn my page, all the way through the works of Carl von Linné, who wrote what are considered to be the first scientific taxonomies. And I'm going to read a little bit from Jonathan Boo's book. Okay. So it says, wild men could be disgusting cannibals or man-eaters. So that's probably why Esau hunted them, because they were man-eaters. But the things that the civilized defined themselves against, they were at times interpreted as signs of God's wrath. Their horrible disfigurement was a warning of what would happen should God withdraw his blessing. They were also proof of God's magnificence or nature's munificence, that the world was filled with every possible form of life, every gap between different kinds of creatures filled by some beast. Some wild men were thought to have special faculties, abilities lost to civilized humans, the power to command animals, to call up winds and storms, to survive without society. And in some myths, the wizard Merlin was a wild man.
What?
I also read that in some myths, Santa Claus is considered to be a wild man.
I could see that.
Right? Because he lives apart from society. He's covered in hair. Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's
but
another
he serves men, which is a totally different aspect.
So that's what it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting that I like the whole, like we have the powers to control, call up winds and storms. And I was like, well, we had that at some point.
I guess, well, yes. So there are theories that go along with that I'm going to touch on.
I like it.
Very briefly, because
Okay.
those are for other podcasts in the future when I get to do some more research
Yay!
on Bigfoot. I love Bigfoot so much, you guys. Okay.
She's so excited about it. She's geeking out, everybody.
I am. And I like wanted to geek out so much more, but this would be like 5 hours long and I can't go that long.
Like
so I'm
we said,
trying really hard to
do
condense
more.
it.
We'll do more.
Yes. Okay. So now we're going to talk about some of the first sightings of Bigfoot.
Yay.
Okay. And these are U.S. specific sightings. So
Okay.
where our legends started coming from, besides all of the stories from all the tribesmen
Right.
that we've heard. So let's go back to our dear friend Wikipedia. According to Live Science, there have been over 10,000 reported Bigfoot sightings in the continental United States.
Just here.
Yes.
Wow.
Over 10,000.
It's
I'm sure there's
continental.
a lot
I was going
more.
to say Alaska and Hawaii aren't included in that, right?
No, I'm sure there are in Alaska.
Oh, I bet.
But
Hawaii may not.
Hawaii maybe not,
yeah.
because it's an island.
Yeah,
it's kind of
separate.
remote.
Tons of islands,
that
yeah.
might be hard.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some in
Alaska,
Alaska.
yeah, because of Canada.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly right. About 1/3 of all claims of Bigfoot sightings are located in the
Pacific Northwest.
Woo woo. With the remaining reports spread throughout the rest of North America. Most reports are considered mistakes or hoaxes, even by those researchers who claim Bigfoot exists. And I think that this is a really interesting point, is that if you're a Bigfoot researcher, you're more likely to believe that other Bigfoot researchers are hoaxing you, which is interesting to me.
I could see that.
Because like I've watched a lot of programs where if you're not in the same camp,
Right.
or if you didn't like study the same things and you're finding your own evidence, other Bigfoot researchers are going to just be insanely skeptical of whatever evidence you find. I think that's fascinating.
That's a good thing, though. Keeps you.
It's a good thing, but it's like, why are they the ones who are trying to prove that Bigfoot
And then they're all
exists and
debunking
trying to
you.
and they're the ones that are first to be like, oh, that's hogwash. Your evidence isn't real. My evidence is the only evidence that's real.
I don't know.
It's interesting to me.
It's a matter of I found it first, I'm guessing.
I guess.
You know?
I don't know.
Like, my evidence is correct and yours is wrong. Haha.
Yeah.
That's
But
silly.
I find
You
it
should
very
be all
silly.
banding together.
Right. Why don't you get together and support each other's
Yeah.
evidence instead of being like, I'm the leading Bigfoot expert and this person is
And I'm gonna
feeding you
I'm just
hoaxes.
gonna like avoid and ignore your research.
I mean, I understand why, because there are thousands of hoaxes out there. And I think that's why a lot of people are so willing to believe that Bigfoot doesn't exist, because so many people want to cash in on that.
That's
And
sad.
speaking of somebody who wanted to cash in on that, P.T. Barnum used to
That's
have
right.
who is it or what is it sideshow, and he would hire actors to portray a hairy man or Bigfoot.
Jerk.
And so well, he was trying to make a buck, right?
Always.
Right. And so that led to a myriad of hoaxes.
Right.
And a myriad of people trying to create their own, oh, look, this is a Bigfoot thing, and trying to cash in on that.
Yeah,
and
I get it.
You know, that goes to show, like, look in where we live in California, anytime you go up the Sierra Nevadas or anywhere that's like wooded, especially in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, man.
How many Bigfoot things
dense.
are there? There's Bigfoot bookstores, there's Bigfoot hotels, there's Bigfoot everything. There's statues galore.
Very true.
You know, Bigfoot is almost an idol that people worship, and everyone's trying to cash in on that. So I'm sure there is just as many real sightings as there are hoaxes out there, if not more hoaxes.
Oh, way more.
Right?
I bet.
Right. So sightings predominantly occur in the Pacific Northwest region of Washington, Oregon, Northern California, and British Columbia. Other prominent areas of supposed sightings include the rural areas of the Great Lakes region.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Yep.
There's a lot of water there, a lot of wooded, any place that's wooded and water. And there's a lot of
Source
big game.
of food and water. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where you're going to find Bigfoot.
Sure.
Places that are densely forested, so they have plenty of opportunity to hide, and places that are going to have big game like deer and elk.
Right.
You know, lots of food sources for them to get.
Is there also in the Appalachian Mountains, right?
Yes, Appalachian Mountains. There's a lot of people that go missing on the Appalachian Trail that they think that Bigfoot is getting them. So same thing with the,
Sorry. Remember episode 4? Portals?
Yes, the portals.
Bigfoot or portals?
Bigfoot or portals.
Yep.
Also on the Pacific Crest Trail, Bigfoot gets people on that too as well. Other prominent areas of supposed sightings include the rural areas of the Great Lakes region and the southeastern United States.
Okay.
According to data collected from the Bigfoot Field Research Organization, or BFRO. Yes, we love the BFRO. We're going to talk about them a little bit later too. Their sightings database in 2019, Washington has over 2,000 reported sightings.
So many.
California over 16,000.
Wow.
Pennsylvania over 13,000.
Holy cow.
New York and Oregon over 1,000, and Texas has just over 800.
Oh, even Texas.
What?
Texas? You wouldn't even think that.
Texas has its own little organization.
That's cool.
I'm going to pull them up right now.
Okay.
See this?
Oh my gosh.
This is a map. I'm showing her a map of all of these Bigfoot sightings.
Is that a wooded area?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
This is all, so Eastern Texas is all woods.
It's
all woods and swamp and very heavily forested and dense. I grew up in part of that. I grew up in Houston, right?
Right.
So Houston,
that's right.
Right
Eastern,
here, yeah.
That's right.
Eastern Texas. It's heavily wooded, heavily forested, little bit swampy. Lots of game, lots of places for Bigfoot to hide and hunt. So there's a ton of sightings here. And so the map that I'm showing her is from a website called the North America Wood Ape Conservancy.
Wow.
They call them the wood ape. So that's another name for Bigfoot.
It's fitting.
It is fitting. So this covers mostly Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana.
Okay.
And that kind of area there.
That's so cool.
Right? And so they have hundreds of sightings of Bigfoot or Sasquatch on that website. They call him wood ape there. They also call him skunk ape
that
as
makes
well.
Sense. Yep.
Yeah, we'll talk about what people call Bigfoot in different regions as well. So where did we get the name Bigfoot? Where are the origins of the Bigfoot name? So in 1958, this is a very famous story, Jerry Crew, a logging company bulldozer operator in Humboldt County, California, discovered a set of large 410 millimeter or 16-inch human-like footprints sunk deep within the mud in the Six Rivers National Forest. This is the famous first footprints that we got at the logging community, right? And he coined the name Bigfoot by saying these are big feet. Right. And that's kind of how he got his name, even though Bigfoot was known by other names.
Sure.
Upon informing his coworkers, many claimed to have seen similar tracks on previous job sites, as well as tellings of odd incidents such as an oil drum weighing 450 pounds having been moved without explanation. Whoa. Right? Big, heavy oil drum being moved. The logging company men soon began utilizing the term Bigfoot to describe the mysterious culprit. Crew, who initially believed someone was playing a prank on them, once again observed more of these numerous massive footprints and contacted reporter Andrew Genzoli. Let me say his name right. Andrew Genzoli.
There you go.
Of the Humboldt Times newspaper. Genzoli interviewed lumber workers and wrote articles about the mysterious footprints, introducing the name Bigfoot in relation to the tracks and the local tales of large, hairy wild men. A plaster cast was made of the footprints, and Crew appeared holding one of the casts on the front page of the newspaper October 6, 1958. The story spread rapidly as Genzoli began to receive correspondence from major media outlets, including the New York and Los Angeles Times. As a result, the term Bigfoot became widespread as a reference to an apparently large unknown creature leaving massive footprints in northern California. In 2002, the family of Crew's deceased co-worker Ray Wallace stated that their father had been secretly making the large footprints with carved wooden feet and that he was responsible for the tracks. Despite the Wallace family statement, Willow Creek, and Humboldt County are considered by some to be the Bigfoot capital of the world.
Interesting.
Yes.
Why would you make wooden feet?
I don't know.
Like, why would that be like a fun prank for somebody? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Let's scare everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, they must be bored at the logging site.
So bored to the point you put out wooden feet prints everywhere. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And it feels like
prints.
They maybe wanted to just kind of be like, oh, my dad did it, so that people wouldn't think that he was crazy saying that he saw Bigfoot. I don't know. To me, it would be like if you aren't the one saying that I did it, but if it's somebody else saying that, oh, they did it and whatever, they may be trying to cover up or trying to make it like, oh, no,
it's nothing.
Kind of trying to cover up the quote unquote craziness of something. You know, I don't know.
I don't know.
I
That's
don't
weird.
know.
Okay.
I don't know why people do the things they do.
Can't explain people, but we can't explain Bigfoot.
Right? Okay. So I'm going to read to you some more stories of Bigfoot. And some of these are going to go back to Native America. Some of them are going to go back to after the 1958 naming of Bigfoot.
Nice.
So the first story I'm going to tell you is from the Sistalis people.
Sistalis?
I think that's how you say that. STS''AILES.
Okay.
Sistalis.
Sure.
Right? People, they tell stories about Saskets.
Saskets?
Yes. It's
like
a shape-shifting creature that protects the forest.
Aww.
The name Sasquatch is the Anglicanized version of Saskets. Roughly translated to hairy man.
I love it.
Right?
Okay.
So members of the Lumi tell tales about creatures known as... These are fun words for me to say.
I bet. It's okay. Do your best.
Tzemekwets.
Zemekwets?
Yes. TS''EMEKWES.
Oh, man.
Tzemekwets.
Sure.
The stories are similar to each other in the general descriptions of the Tzemekwets. It's never going to get any better, people.
Oh, we're sorry we butchered the names.
But details differed among various family accounts concerning the creature's diet and activities. Some regional versions tell of more threatening creatures. The Stiyaha or Quiquiyai.
Is it QI?
KWI.
KW. Okay, never mind. I thought it was
Quiquiyai.
Okay.
Were a nocturnal race, and children are warned against saying the names so that the monsters would not come and carry them off to be killed.
So don't say the name.
Do not say the name.
Like Candyman.
Right. Oh. The Iroquois. Here we go. I know that name.
Get that one.
The Iroquois tell of an aggressive hair-covered giant with rock-hard skin known as the Oteneyarhe, or stone giant, more commonly referred to as the Genosqua.
That makes me think of Frozen.
Oh, yeah.
The big rock giants.
Marshmallow.
No, the rock giants.
The rock giants.
The stone giants.
Oh, yes. And Frozen 2.
Yes, Frozen 2.
In 1847, Paul Kane reported stories by the natives about skokoums. Right? Have you heard these skokoums?
That sounds familiar. Is that a place in Washington?
I don't know.
Oh, we'll have to look that up at some point.
Yeah. So this is in Washington. So we'll get there.
Okay.
So in 1847, Paul Kane reported stories by the natives about skokoums, a race of cannibalistic wild men living on the peak of Mount St. Helens in southern Washington. Also related to this area was an alleged incident in 1924 in which a violent encounter between a group of gold prospectors and a group of ape men occurred. These allegations were reported in the July 16th, 1924 issue of the Oregonian and have become a popular piece of Bigfoot lore, with the area now being referred to as Ape Canyon.
Ape Canyon?
Ape Canyon.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt, in his 1893 book, The Wilderness Hunter, writes of a story he was told by an elderly mountain man named Booman, in which a foul-smelling bipedal creature ransacked his beaver trapping camp. stalked him, and later became hostile when it fatally broke his companion's neck in the wilderness near the Idaho-Montana border.
Oh, that's scary.
Right? President Roosevelt is writing about Wildman. Crazy. Roosevelt notes that Bauman appeared fearful when telling the story, but attributed the trapper's folkloric German ancestry to have potentially influenced him. So he's like discrediting him a little bit, but I think he saw what he saw, and you can't discredit that.
No.
Yeah. Less menacing versions have also been recorded, such as one by Reverend Elkanah Walker from 1840. Walker was a Protestant missionary who recorded stories of giants among the natives living near Spokane, Washington.
Hey.
These giants were said to live on and around the peaks of nearby mountains, stealing salmon from the fishermen's nets.
Good way to get fish.
Right? Good way to get fish. So I have one more story that I want to share with you about the origins of Bigfoot and early sightings of him.
Okay.
So this is we're going back to Bigfoot, The Life and Times of a Legend by our favorite friend, Joshua Boo.
Our favorite.
Our favorite friend. He's our favorite friend. So let me get to the story. Robert Hatfield heard the dogs howling. At least that's what he claimed later. Hatfield was a logger down from Crescent City in the far northwestern corner of California, visiting his sister and brother-in-law at Fort Bragg along the coast. It was Wednesday night, February 7th, 1962. Hatfield went outside to see what was bothering the dogs. He saw a huge creature, a beast. Ooh. Hatfield said much bigger than a bear, covered with fur, with a flat, hairless face and perfectly round eyes. It stood chest and shoulders above a 6-foot-high fence. Hatfield went back into the house and woke Bud Jenkins, his brother-in-law, telling him to come out and see the largest bear he'd ever seen. When Jenkins and Hatfield returned to the yard, the beast was no longer there. Jenkins went back inside to get his gun. Of course.
Of course.
They have to go get their guns.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Right. Don't shoot Bigfoot.
Yeah, don't, please.
Hatfield started scouting. He rounded the corner of the house and bumped into the beast.
Ugh.
It knocked him down so hard that his arm and shoulders were sore for the next 3 days. Hatfield scrambled back inside, yelling a warning to Jenkins. There was a half-man, half-beast monster after them. Once Hatfield was in the house, he and Bud tried to slam the door shut, but the beast caught it and pushed back. Let it in and I'll get it, Jenkins shouted. I love it. Holding his shotgun, the two men let go, but before Jenkins could fire off a round, the beast turned and left. Good thing. It turned out the gun wasn't loaded.
Oh, glad.
Yeah. The sheriff's department came out to investigate the disturbance. There were few clues.
Oh.
A bad odor wafted heavily in the air. There was also a muddy handprint on the door, 11.5 inches long, with stubby fingers. Journalist for the local Santa Rosa Press Democrat did some probing into the matter too, and 6 Fort Bragg men formed a hunting party. For the past several years, newspapers have been reporting on a monstrous man-like beast said to range from British Columbia down to Northern California, and it was called Bigfoot.
Hey.
4 of the men in the hunting party were convinced that Hatfield and the Jenkinses had seen Bigfoot. As evidence, they pointed to broken branches along a path about a mile from Jenkinson's property, some tracks and some dung. The two other members of the party were skeptics. The branches proved nothing, they said. Deer could have broken them. Bears could have made the tracks. The dung was horse manure.
What?
Indeed, the whole matter seemed to be not much more than manure. Maybe the account for the lingering odor, the manure, right?
Sure. But still, it doesn't smell like manure.
Right?
Because you know what that smells like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. She does not have her skeptic pants on. Can you tell? She's so mad at anybody that's like, oh, it's nothing. Broken branches, depending upon how high they're broken, usually when Bigfoot breaks a branch, it's to mark a trail.
Right.
And it's, taller than man.
Huge,
It's usually about 6 feet up is where they snap it over.
Because their bodies are probably hitting things too. It's like, it's huge.
Right. So anyway, you guys know about snapping branches. We'll talk about things that Bigfoot does too.
Yeah.
This is a long episode, guys. I'm trying to hurry it. Okay.
This reminds me of the Sutton farm with the green men.
Yes.
Right. Because it's like they went to get a gun. Something
right.
scared them.
Shoot first, ask later. Yeah.
Yeah. And then no one believes them. And yeah. So that's creepy.
Yeah. It is creepy. So now we're going to talk about some names for Bigfoot because as I mentioned and as we know, a lot of places have different names for Bigfoot.
Okay.
So what are some names that you know?
Sasquatch.
What's another one?
Yeti.
Yes. Yeti is located in
the north, right? In the cold areas.
In the cold areas.
China, right?
Yeah.
I'm just throwing things out.
You are throwing. And like Tibet.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to
where
get to.
Everest is.
Yes.
And in that kind of regional area. Yes.
I could probably name more. I just can't think of them now. Give me some.
Okay, I will give you some.
Okay.
So the names of Bigfoot in the United States and kind of British Columbia. Sasquatch is Northern California, British Columbia. That's what he's mostly called up there. Or not Northern California,
Harry.
I'm sorry, Pacific Northwest. Harry. So skunk ape in Florida and other southern states, right? We talked about that. He's a skunk ape.
Yep.
Grassman in Ohio.
Oh, because he's green, right? I remember those stories.
Grassman in Ohio.
Okay.
Fook monster in Arkansas.
Ooh, I didn't know that one.
The Fook monster because he came around the Fook.
The Fook area?
Yeah, the Fook area.
Okay.
Then we have, this is one of my favorite ones, the wood booger.
Ew.
Wood booger in Virginia.
What?
That's what they call him, the wood booger.
Mean.
I know.
You think of like a sticky little thing.
I know.
No.
The monster of Whitehall in Whitehall, New York.
Oh, okay.
Momo.
Oh,
they call him Momo.
That's what my kids call me.
Oh, that's so cute. You're like Bigfoot.
You know what Momo is actually? Like it's what's supposed to be like a Japanese like scary thing. Like,
oh, is it?
Yeah.
So I wonder who in Mississippi is Japanese because that's where he's called Momo is in Missouri.
Hold on.
Did I say Mississippi? He's called Momo in Missouri.
What's that?
Oh my gosh. She just showed me a picture of the Japanese Momo.
It's like, well, that's the hoax. But it's creepy. Hold on.
That is creepy. Not at all like Bigfoot. It's just like a creepy, weird, smiley doll.
So it's called a Momo.
It's called Momo in Missouri.
Okay, it might not be Japanese, but there's something about Momo, and I know there's like the Momo challenge. It's like creepy, but anyway, I like Momo.
You like Momo? Okay,
I do.
We will call him Momo.
Yeah,
Momo. And then we have Honey Island Swamp Monster.
What?
In Louisiana.
Ah, okay.
Dewey Lake Monster in Michigan.
Dewey Lake? Okay.
Dewey Lake in Michigan.
From Dewey Lake,
yep.
sure. Okay.
Then we have Mogollon Monster in Arizona.
Ooh,
Mogollon Monster
They're all
in
different
Arizona.
types of monsters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have the Big Muddy Monster in southern Illinois. The Old Men of the Mountain in West Virginia.
The old men?
They're old mountain men. Yeah.
Okay.
They're all hairy and old and
They're
scary.
not that old though. I mean, they're just hairy and big, right?
They've been around since at least 2000 BC.
Sure.
If
Okay,
not
they
before.
are old. Okay.
I think before, and we'll talk about a theory as to why that is before. I keep like dropping things.
I love it.
I get there.
It.
Okay.
We'll
And then the term wood ape
Yes.
is also used by some as a means to deviate from the perceived mythical connotation surrounding the name Bigfoot.
Nice.
They're like, we don't like that. We need to be more PC. He's the
Wood
wood
ape.
But I wouldn't necessarily say he's an ape.
No.
He's more humanoid.
Exactly. Because if he were an ape, it would be very much ape. Whereas like hands are dragging across. He looks like more of a monkey, but he doesn't.
He's bipedal.
Yes.
And most apes will still use
Both.
all four.
Yes, that's
all four
right.
limbs
To run
to walk.
and everything. Yeah.
And Bigfoot doesn't, right?
Nope.
So other names include the Bushman, the Tree Man, and the Wild Man.
Wild man.
Yeah. Wild Man. Okay. So we're going to talk about their alleged behavior.
Ooh.
Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about what Bigfoot does.
Oh, X.
Some Bigfoot researchers allege that Bigfoot throws rocks as a territorial display and for communication, right?
Okay.
I've heard that. Have you heard Bigfoot throw
I've
rocks?
heard that.
Yes. Okay. Other alleged behaviors include audible blows struck against trees or wood knocking.
Wood knocking.
You heard about wood knocking?
Because of the movie.
There's wood knocking in the movie. Okay. Further alleged to be communicative. So that's how they let other Other animals or other Bigfoot in the area know that they're there by wood knocking, so they communicate that way.
I feel that's hard to do because there's woodpeckers. And so it's like, how do you determine?
Woodpeckers don't usually wood knock at night, though.
Oh, I guess they're not eating at night.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So skeptics argue that these behaviors are easily hoaxed.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
People
That's
can
easy
throw
to do.
rocks.
Yeah.
People can wood knock.
Sure.
Yes. Additionally, structures of broken and twisted foliage seemingly placed in specific areas have been attributed by some to Bigfoot behavior. So we kind of touched on that a little bit briefly, how they will mark their path by breaking some branches. Right. So they'll break over young trees.
Oh, okay.
Or
saplings.
Saplings. Thank you. Oh, young trees. Saplings. That's another word.
It's okay.
So they'll break over saplings that are, a certain amount high.
Oh, sure. Because they can reach that.
Or branches or, it looks odd. It doesn't look like it's a natural break. It looks like somebody did break it at a weird angle.
Man-made. Okay.
Right. In some reports, lodgepole pine and other small trees have been observed bent, uprooted, or stacked in patterns such as weaved and crisscrossed, leading some to theorize that they are potential territorial markings. Right? I've seen that in some Bigfoot documentaries that I've seen. They, have these little structures that they'll build.
Right.
Some instances have also included entire deer skeletons being suspended high in trees. Creepy, right?
How did it get up there?
I don't know.
It didn't climb up by itself.
It sure didn't. And then die because it was too high off the ground.
The cow. Remember the cow?
Oh, yeah. I don't like it.
Sorry.
Okay. In Washington State, a team of amateur Bigfoot researchers called the Olympic Project, which is another Bigfoot research team, claimed to have discovered a collection of nests.
What?
Yeah,
like
Bigfoot
big
makes nests. Yeah, they sleep in nests. It's usually like pine needles or ferns, but they'll like gather them and make like a soft bedding.
Okay.
And they had primatologists study them, with the conclusion being that they appear to have been created by a primate.
Wood ape,
Sasquatch. Many alleged sightings are reported to occur at night, leading to some speculation that the creatures may possess nocturnal tendencies. However, experts find such behavior untenable in a supposed ape or human-like creature. Means that's not...
They wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, they wouldn't be doing that.
Okay.
As all known apes, including humans, are diurnal, with only lesser primates exhibiting nocturnality. Is that the right word? Yeah,
sure.
Nocturnality. Most anecdotal sightings of Bigfoot describe the creatures allegedly observed as solitary, although some reports have described groups being allegedly observed together. Okay, so that's their behavior. Alleged vocalizations.
Yeah.
Alleged vocalizations such as howls, screams, moans, grunts, whistles, and even a form of supposed language have been reported and allegedly recorded.
What? Recorded?
I tried to find a recording of this. I heard a chatter. It's like a conversation between supposedly at least two Bigfoot. This is a very famous thing. So I'll see if I can find it and play it for you, Nicole.
I want to hear it.
But I watched it on a Bigfoot documentary where they were playing the vocalizations that were recorded. And it almost sounded like a cross between just gibberish, but then there were some words that were kind of Asian inspired or Asian sounding. And it was interesting how fast they were chattering back and forth.
And they think how do they think that's Bigfoot? Maybe what for aliens?
Well, I love this. We will talk about that later. But they recorded chatter and they attributed it is not any known language that we know. And it was recorded in a Bigfoot area. And so we'll have to see if we can pull those vocalizations up. Okay, we're going to listen to some sounds of Bigfoot.
Perfect, Angela. Good job.
Recordings of Bigfoot sounds in the wild.
What?
Just say movement right through
Samurai sound.
First ones were very aggressive sounds.
So I have so many questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that so they got these sounds, but and how do we know it's them and not, did they like try to vocalize back, or is it?
So, okay, when we have recordings of these,
Yeah.
they get, I've actually seen people compare spectrographs.
Okay.
So they'll look at not only, you can do a spectrograph of a sound, which
Right.
means it's going to break down and compare it to other known natural sounds.
Sure.
So they can compare it to humans, they can compare it to coyotes, they can compare it to other animals that are in
Right.
those regions. And they'll look at not only the wave pattern of the vocalization, but they can look at a picture pattern of
That's
it,
so cool.
right?
Yeah.
And so when they're doing that, they're comparing it to all known sounds. These are sounds that have not been produced by any other known animal.
That is so crazy.
And they're in Sasquatchy areas
yeah.
with other things that you associate with Sasquatch. Like there's wood knocking.
Right.
It's in a very, like, there's a lot of sightings happening there of Sasquatch. So these are collected on hunts, and these are people that are Bigfoot researchers.
Have they debunked that this is not like humans shouting into the woods?
Yes, it's not a human vocalization.
Okay.
Yeah. So isn't that cool?
That's insane.
But the language that they hear, did you hear some of the words?
Yeah.
So they call them like samurai sounds. And there's another one that I
Why do
didn't
they call
play.
it samurai sounds?
Because
Does it
to
sound like-
them, it sounds a little bit like it's like a Japanese vocalization.
Interesting.
Some of the sounds are that kind of a thing.
Okay.
And there's another recording that we didn't listen to that I've heard where the chatter is a little bit clearer, and it definitely sounds almost like an Asian language.
Wow. Interesting.
So yeah, it's pretty cool to hear them just bop, 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 and like
talking.
yeah, just the short choppiness and the
And one sounded like it was
different
singing.
levels of the vowels. Yes. They kind of
weird.
sing, they kind of moan.
Okay.
Pretty cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Some of these alleged vocalization recordings have been analyzed by individuals such as retired U.S. Navy cryptological linguist Scott Nelson.
What?
He analyzed audio recordings from the early 1970s, said to be recorded in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Woohoo!
Ooh.
We live right by those.
Can we rewind real quick? Does the Navy actually have a cryptologic linguist job? Or is this just
Apparently, yes.
That's insane.
Yes.
What?
Well, because they're listening to whale sounds. They're listening to sounds in the
Oh,
ocean.
that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to do that now.
Right? Doesn't that sound like a cool job?
Yes.
They're listening to
Yes,
sub
different.
sounds.
Okay, that makes sense.
Trying to hear what is
What's
doing
going on.
echolocation, that
Sure,
kind of thing.
sure. Okay.
Okay. So the Sierra Nevada mountains dubbed the Sierra sounds and stated it is definitely a language. It is definitely not human in origin, and it could not have been faked. Lee Stroud has spoken of strange vocalizations he heard in the wilderness while filming Survivor Man that he stated sounded primitive in origin. The majority of mainstream scientists maintain that the source of sounds often attributed to Bigfoot are either hoaxes, anthropomorphization, or likely misidentified and produced by known animals such as owl, wolf, coyote, and fox. Even though we have cryptological linguists and other people really studying these vocalizations, just like, nah, it's a hoax. So anthropomorphism is the attribution of human traits, emotions, or intentions to non-human entities. It is considered to be an innate tendency of human psychology.
Sure. We put human traits on everything.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
So now we're going to go into what exactly is Bigfoot?
Yeah, what are you?
What are you, Bigfoot? So we think that it is a humanoid like animal. Okay. There are different misidentifications of Bigfoot that people come across. The most common one is bear. Right. So mainstream scientists theorize that American black bears, which very much populate the areas that Bigfoot does populate, also grizzlies and, other. So the bears are a likely culprit for most Bigfoot sightings, particularly when observers view a subject from afar and are in dense foliage or there are poor lighting conditions. Additionally, black bears have been observed and recorded walking upright, often as a result of an injury. While upright adult black bears stand roughly 1.5 to 2.1 meters or 5 to 7 feet, and grizzly bears roughly 2.4 to 2.7 meters, 8 to 9 feet, both within the range of anecdotal Bigfoot reports. However, the shape of a bear to me, yes, seeing it walk upright like that,
it's totally
but it's
different.
Not the same shape as
they
people.
Paws, not arms.
Right.
Like
they don't have arms.
Different.
The ears.
Yes, that's
the ears are the biggest thing. The ears
and then muzzle,
and the face.
Yeah,
yeah.
They've got
it's
a
not
pointed.
A flat face.
They've got a pointed muzzle. They don't have a flat face.
Right. So in 2007, the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, or BFRO, put forward photos which they stated showed a juvenile Bigfoot.
Ooh.
The Pennsylvania Game Commission, however, stated that these photos were of a bear with mange.
Oh, that's right.
Do you remember that? The Pennsylvania Game Commission unsuccessfully attempted to locate the suspected mangy bear. Scientist Vanessa Woods, after estimating that the subject in the photo had approximately 560 millimeters or 22-inch long arms and 476 millimeters or 18.75-inch torso, concluded it was more comparable to a chimpanzee. And here is the photo of the unidentified creature. You tell me, is that a bear?
No. The arms are way too long.
Look at the back leg.
Yeah.
It's a human-like leg.
Yeah.
It is not a bear leg. A bear leg has more tush.
It's the shape of it. It's got a more of a bent knee, like a dog. This is like straight legs. This is human legs.
This is a human leg. And human arm. The arm length is as long as the leg length. And they're really long. So
they're very long.
It makes no sense to me that that's a bear.
No.
So anyway. We'll post this picture on our website. You guys be the judge.
Yep.
Okay. Escaped apes.
No.
People think that they are apes. Some have proposed that sightings of Bigfoot may simply be people observing and misidentifying known great apes such as chimpanzees, gorilla, and orangutan that have escaped from captivity, such as zoos, circuses, and private owners.
Nope.
The explanation is often proposed in relation to the Bigfoot-like skunk ape, as some argue the humid subtropical climate of the southeastern United States could potentially support a population of escaped apes.
No,
not an ape.
What? You would know it's an ape. I'm sorry.
Right.
An ape. Yeah. No, you would know
it's a totally different body type.
Oh, totally.
Right. Okay. Humans. Humans have been mistaken for Bigfoot, with some incidents leading to injuries. In 2013, a 21-year-old man in Oklahoma was arrested after he told law enforcement he accidentally shot his friend in the back while their group was allegedly hunting for Bigfoot. In 2017, a shamanist wearing clothing made of animal furs was vacationing in a North Carolina forest when local reports of alleged Bigfoot sightings flooded in. The Greenville Police Department issued a public notice not to shoot Bigfoot in fear of someone in a fur suit mistakenly being injured or killed. In 2018, a person was shot multiple times by a hunter near Helena, Montana, who claimed he mistook him for a Bigfoot.
It's probably because they're all on edge and but I'm just sorry. Humans are not as big as Bigfoot. So that's so hard to I think if you're on edge and you see something move and you shoot it, because that's what they're all trigger happy.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Not a Bigfoot.
It's not a Bigfoot.
Not a Bigfoot.
Sorry.
Additionally, some have attributed feral humans or hermits living in the wilderness as being another explanation for alleged Bigfoot sightings.
Are they 9 feet tall?
Right. One famous story, the wild man of the Navidad, tells of a wild ape man who roamed the wilderness of eastern Texas in the mid-19th century, stealing food and goods from local residents. A search party allegedly captured an escaped African slave who was attributed to the story. Boo. During the 1980s, a number of psychologically damaged American Vietnam veterans were stated by the state of Washington's Veterans Affairs Director, Randy Fisher, to have been living in remote wooded areas of the state.
Sure. That makes sense.
That makes
But
sense.
it's not Bigfoot.
They're not Bigfoot.
We know it's not Bigfoot. You see a tent.
And they're
usually
human
yeah.
shape. They're not Bigfoot.
They're not
Bigfoot
huge.
is 8 to 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
Human men are 6 feet tall.
I think this is
So-
when people say this, it's because it's nighttime and people are on edge. And yeah, sure. Then you're like, oh, it's Bigfoot. But no, obviously not. That's a human. That makes more sense. But if it's something that's 9 feet tall, breaking branches, making noises, and you don't see it.
Also, no animal sounds.
Yeah.
When the forest goes
That's
quiet,
right. It
the
goes really
animals are in
quiet.
hiding. Yeah.
Mhm.
They're hiding from
Yeah,
something
that's
bigger than
stupid.
them.
I get it, but it's stupid. Okay.
Then we have pareidolia. Pareidolia. I had to write this down and I looked up how to say it and I can't see it. But this is seeing faces in objects that aren't real.
Yes.
Yes. So that's another thing. It's like, oh, you're seeing like a big rock and it looks like it has a face. So therefore it's Bigfoot. No.
Oh, babe.
Yeah. No. They call them blob squatches. And you see like a shape and you think that it's Bigfoot, but it's a blob squatch.
And now I want to crochet a blob squatch.
Should do that.
Because that just sounds like a fun name.
So there are a gajillion hoaxes, which
Yep.
I don't have time to go into because we're already like having a super long thing.
Maybe we can get into that next time.
So a lot of people will say that there's a ton of hoaxes out
Sure.
there
And
where
there
people are creating their own taxidermies of Bigfoot, or they are making their own
Insane.
footsteps. Or just recently, there's a YouTuber named Coyote Peterson, and he actually said this in the video. He's like, what if I found this? But the clickbait, he used it as clickbait. He said he found a Sasquatch skull while he was
I hate
in. Right.
those. They're so terrible. You
Right.
did not find it.
That actually made it into this Wikipedia page,
You
which is
kidding
hilarious.
me?
I love
Oh,
it.
Gosh.
But yeah, so there's a gajillion hoaxes. People want to
Yeah, make
say,
money.
hey, I found Sasquatch.
They want to
so
be
they're gonna
in the
hoax
fame.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Here's another fun one. So, but this is a real thing. So, Gigantopithecus. So Bigfoot proponents Grover Krantz and Jeffrey H. Born Identity, both believed that Bigfoot could be relict population of the extinct Southeast Asian ape species Gigantopithecus blacki. According to Byrne, G. blacki may have followed the many other species of animals that migrated across the Bering Land Bridge to the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
To date, no Gigantopithecus fossils have been found in the Americas. In Asia, the only recovered fossils have been of mandibles and teeth, leaving uncertainty about G. blacki's locomotion. Krantz has argued that G. blacki could have been bipedal based on his extrapolation from the shape of its mandible. However, the relevant part of the mandible is not present in any fossils. So the more popular view is that G. blacki was quadrupedal, as its enormous mass would have made it difficult for it to adopt a bipedal gait.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So Gigantopithecus.
Gigantopithecus.
Right. Here's another one. Extinct hominidae.
Hominidae. I'm home in a day.
An extinct hominidae.
Okay.
Primatologist John R. Napier and anthropologist Jordan Strasberg have suggested a species of Paranthropus did I say that right? Paranthropus. I'm never going to say that right. As a possible candidate for Bigfoot's identity, such as Paranthropus robustus, with its gorilla-like crest skull and bipedal gait, despite the fact that fossils of Paranthropus are found only in Africa. Michael Rugg of the Bigfoot Discovery Museum presented a comparison between human Gigantopithecus and Meganthropus skulls.
Okay, I've heard that one.
Reconstructions made by Grover Krantz in episodes 131 and 132 of the Bigfoot Discovery Museum show.
Wow.
Bigfoot enthusiasts that think Bigfoot might be the missing link between apes and humans have promoted the idea that Bigfoot is a descendant of Gigantopithecus blacki, but the ape divergent from orangutans around 12 million years ago and is not related to humans.
Yeah.
Some suggest Neanderthal, Homo erectus, or Homo heidelbergensis.
Heidelberg. From Germany.
From Germany to be the creature. But like all other great apes, no remains of any of those species have been found in the Americas.
Wow.
So they think that he might be the missing link.
Okay.
Right?
I think there's some truth to that one.
Yes. My favorite one that I'm going to touch on briefly and one that I want to dive in is that, and this is one that I've just heard recently. There have been a lot of links between Bigfoot and UFO sightings. They tend to happen around the same time.
Yes.
So there are a couple theories that this follows.
Is this Mothman?
Bigfoot is an alien creature.
Okay.
Or Bigfoot, this is another one that I heard. Bigfoot is what we were before aliens came and messed with humans and made us more intelligent. So we are descendants of Bigfoot, but we have been changed by the alien races to be more intelligent and evolve away
they helped us be
from
smarter.
Bigfoot. So that's how we're related to Bigfoot, because we are both humanoids, but they made us smarter and turned us into humans.
Thank you, aliens.
So that's another, so that's a whole other podcast.
Oh, no.
So I'm exhausted now.
Angela, this is amazing. There's so much background.
And I
him.
barely scratched any of the surface of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Right. So there's so much more. There are so many groups like the BFRO, like I talked about. If you want to read sightings, which I would love to do a big sightings report where we just talk about sightings of where Bigfoot, you can go to the BFR website and spend a day enjoying reading all of these sightings because they're all listed on there. It's so much fun. And there's so many documentaries and there's so much to cover with Bigfoot, and we will revisit him more because I love him.
I would love that. I'm so excited. This just kind of, like you said, it scratched the surface. I was like, there's so much that I didn't know. Yeah. And now I'm like, I want more. And I have seen some, documentaries and things here and there, but this is so cool. I'm so glad we're starting this.
Oh my gosh.
You look tired.
I need more coffee.
Yes. Did you even touch your coffee this whole episode?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I'm trying. Okay, but this is long enough. We got to dive into movie time, and we will revisit Bigfoot more.
Yes, we're going to come back to this.
We will come back. If you guys have Bigfoot stories, or if you want us to touch on anything in particular in Bigfoot and help guide our journey as we bring back this subject more and more.
Episode 8,000, because we're going to have so many of them.
Right. Please drop us a line at theominousstitch@gmail.com. And let us know what Bigfoot you want us to talk about, because Bigfoot exists all over the world. Everywhere. So we can talk about, I don't know, he's everywhere.
Abominable Snowman.
The Abominable Snowman. Yes.
He's related.
Yes.
He reminds me of Monsters, Inc.
Oh, I know. Don't eat the yellow snowman.
Okay. Good job, Angela.
Oh, I'm exhausted, but let's dive into movie. We have one more thing to do.
Yes, it's movie time.
It's movie time. Movie time.
This week's movie, because of our theme, we watched Willow Creek. Willow Creek was released in 2013, IMDb rating of 5.1 stars, and the synopsis: a man and his girlfriend camp in the woods to capture first-hand evidence of Bigfoot. Directed by Bobcat Goldthwait.
Is it really?
You didn't know that?
No. That made this movie so much better for me right now. I love that.
It just bumped up your rating.
Oh, it totally did. It totally did.
You're funny. Yep, this was directed by him.
I love that.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen this movie, it's very much like the Blair Witch Project in that it's trying to be found footage.
Very shaky camera work.
Doesn't make any sense to me because who found the footage? Because if you watch this movie, you're like...
Yeah. Okay, so the whole idea... The whole idea is that there's a Bigfoot enthusiast and his girlfriend doesn't believe in Bigfoot, but he's trying to convince her that Bigfoot is real.
And she's going along with him.
She's going along with it because she just wants to go camping with her boyfriend. Her BF. And have a good time with him. And so he goes to Bluff Creek because he wants to follow the trail that Roger Pattinson and Bob Giblin took when they got the famed film footage of the female Sasquatch.
That's right. So they go on and they interview a bunch of people and make it try to seem like it's real. They show like murals of Bigfoot.
Yeah, they're going all around Willow Creek, which
Yeah.
I love that because you get to see the town and how quirky
That's
it
true.
is. And that's true of any California town. I'm sure it goes like straight up the coast to wherever Sasquatch is seen.
Right.
These little towns really embrace him, really celebrate Sasquatch, really like there's statues everywhere. There's murals everywhere. There are hotels that are themed after Bigfoot. There's a bookstore that's themed after Bigfoot.
Right.
There are restaurants. There's a Bigfoot burger in the movie
That's right.
that I'm sure is
Or
a Willow.
sandwich, Bigfoot sandwich?
No,
or-
it's a burger.
Oh, it's a burger.
It's a
Okay.
burger. And the bun is shaped
It's
like a foot.
yep.
Yeah.
And there's like musicians making songs about it.
Yeah.
So they do that, and then they finally get to the woods, and they're told by some what they call hillbilly to turn around, and it was just so over the top.
Yeah.
That one,
He's like, get out of
he
here.
like taps him.
He
Like,
can't tell him to get out.
Yeah,
Get out.
he doesn't belong.
It's a national
I
park.
was gonna say he doesn't own the land.
Yeah, he doesn't own the land.
That was
so
stupid.
He's allowed to be there.
Yeah, that was really stupid. And so they turn around. He's like, I know a way. I know a way to get in.
No way.
I don't know. I don't know.
So funny.
And I'm going to get into why this irked me too. So he gets in and he's like driving on this like backpack, or she is, or no, he is, or she
He's
is.
driving.
He's driving.
Yeah.
And she's filming.
She's scared.
And they finally make it to their destination to get out and hike to where they're trying to go. The film
Yeah, they have
location.
like a 3 to 4 hour hike in.
Okay.
To get to
yeah,
Bluff Creek,
Yes.
the filming location.
yeah. And then they camp for the night at one place, right? And like, I swear to God, half the movie is just them in the tent.
Yeah.
Which I was reading reviews about this. And they're like, oh, it's just so cool because it's cinematic. You're relying on sounds, and I was like, no, they're just sitting in a tent, like. Cool. She's like freaking out, and you hear sounds, and so it's all these like
They try to make you care about them the whole first
Yeah.
half of the movie, like setting it up like, oh, this is this great couple that are relatable and they're meeting all these people and they're trying to do this cool thing. And then he proposes to her in the tent and she says no, which is
like-
my favorite part of the
like
movie.
smiling
It's
the
so
whole
funny.
time. It was so funny. She's just like smiling and like like awkwardly.
She's like,
I
wanna
really
move
care
to-
about you.
Yeah, I really care about you. It's like, you don't love him?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I
she
really
did say
care
she
about you.
loved him, yeah.
And she's like, but I want to move to LA so I can be an actress. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, I'll move with you.
And you know what's hilarious about that whole part, like at the beginning, how he's like ranking on LA. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, LA people. He's trying to be famous. He's trying to like,
Right?
I'm like,
So I don't
you
understand
are
that.
very LA, sir.
Yeah. He's very LA.
That, I was so mad about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I kind of turned off and checked off in the movie when they got to the I mean, I checked off at the beginning too, but because they really took forever just to even get there, like to get to the. But they're in the tent for like 25 minutes, just sitting there, and we're watching them scared and like hearing footsteps.
You can't
and-
really hear what they're
No,
whispering.
you can't. You can't hear any. And you hear a woman crying.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But then you just like, like a rock gets thrown at their tent and she like
Right.
flips out, and you just watch them just the whole time, just the reactions. And I was like, this is stupid. I'm sorry. And then they finally get out in the morning. It's dawn, and they get out and they're hiking and they're lost. And I'm like, okay, so here's where I'm mad at.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready.
They find evidence. They're like, oh, this is evidence. There's hair on this tree, right? And so
Right.
he gets out his gloves and he gets out bags and he's got all this stuff ready to collect evidence, right?
Right.
One, why doesn't he have a compass on him of all shitty things to go hiking?
And they were warned like several times, like,
Yes.
you need to be an experienced hiker to get to this spot.
Yes.
It's not for the faint of heart. Make
No.
sure you're well equipped and well supplied.
Yes.
You got to know what you're doing.
You got to
if you're
know.
there.
He's got equipment to collect Sasquatch stuff, but he doesn't have equipment to go hiking.
Right. And this is what, 2013?
Yes.
They had cell phones.
They had cell phones. You could have put a, yeah.
You
I mean,
could have put a
even
navigation thing.
Even
or,
if
or
it
pinged
doesn't
a
work
thing.
or
Yeah.
something, even just a freaking compass.
You can put a compass on your phone.
for crying out
Yeah.
loud. And that drove me crazy. So mad. And he knew how to get everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Did he have a map or something? Like even just a physical map?
They
Like,
weren't using one. So,
Right.
and they were warned that there's no trail. You're
There's no
kind
trail.
of bushwhacking in there. So it's like, why weren't they marking a trail as they were
something.
going in?
They were being stupid.
Yeah.
I was really mad about that. I'm like,
Yeah.
this movie doesn't make sense.
The whole time I'm like, dude, be careful what you're looking for. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, he didn't have any weapons.
Mhm.
Oh, bears. Like, then why wouldn't you have had like like
a flare gun. Yeah.
Flare gun, axe, something that usually you take when you go camping. Like I got really, and then I was like, okay, then I really turned off.
Totally unprepared.
And then I had to read, like I looked up the stuff, like the synopsis, because I didn't get the ending. I was like, why is there a naked woman? Do you remember seeing that? Like they at the end,
there was a naked woman.
You need to rewatch it.
How did I miss that ending?
I don't know.
I was crocheting while I was watching it. I think I was just like, meh.
Okay. So towards the end,
I heard her screaming.
So yeah, in the tent, right? You hear a woman and da-da-da. Okay. They're like running around in the dark. They're running around. And then right before the boyfriend like falls and gets dragged off.
Right.
There's an image of a woman.
Oh, is that the woman that was missing?
There you go.
Okay.
Which I didn't even connect.
So are they just collecting the women and killing the men?
Yes. That's what they're leading to.
Okay.
So Bigfoot is a normal man.
Womanizer.
A normal man that's
normal man.
Doesn't know how to get women.
Scary man that was trying to. Oh.
So anyway, that's what I was like. Are you kidding me? So Blair Witch to me was better because
Blair Witch was better because after I saw Blair Witch, I had to sleep with the lights on in
it was original
house for days.
It was original
and listen to the radio for months.
Okay,
yeah,
because it was the first of its kind.
Yeah, because there was no ending. And when I watch scary movies, like I need the bad guy to get it in the end.
Right.
I need some resolution.
Sure.
And there was no resolution for Blair Witch.
And it was very creative at the time.
At the time with the shaky camera work and like, you felt like you were part of that group. Yes.
This one was like exactly the same, but worse.
Yeah, it didn't do it.
It didn't do it.
It didn't do it.
It was shaky.
It
you
wasn't
heard them
as
screaming.
scary.
You're like, what's going on?
Their performances weren't as believable as the teenagers. It didn't feel as real. It felt like they were actors acting.
Because they were too pretty.
And putting on this. They were too pretty.
This guy
pretty people don't go into the woods.
Pretty people.
Well, I mean, he was trying to do a documentary. So like,
I guess. I know, but it just didn't fly for me. I was so mad at it. When they got in the tent and they were in there for like forever, I was like, I wanted to turn it off so bad. But I had to watch it because of you.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm trying to go on theme. And I was like, okay, well, I haven't seen Willow Creek. And it's a Bigfoot movie.
Right.
And it's about people getting hunted by a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So, okay, it's a horror movie.
Is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're going to watch it for you guys. So you don't watch this movie.
If you want to, it is free on
Tubi.
On Tubi, yeah.
It's free on Tubi.
Or on Amazon Prime, too.
Which I didn't realize I should have just done that, too.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It worked either way. I would have rather watched Bigfoot documentaries. Like, I think that would have been so much more
We'll do that the
interesting.
next time that we're watching because there's some...
good ones, right?
There's some really insane... I believe in Bigfoot. I believe that... I can't imagine there being so many sightings of this creature that are not real.
Right.
I don't know who Bigfoot is and where he comes from. He's got to be real.
There's something.
There's something.
There's something out there. But anyway, this movie's not. So
So how many stitches would you give this movie, Nicole?
It's like Mothman.
Oh,
it's even like worse. I don't know, 0.5.
We are not good with the cryptid movies. We should have watched like Harry and the Hendersons or something.
I would have watched that too. I would have totally watched that and I've been like, oh, this is awesome. But it's not a horror movie because that's our theme.
Yeah.
So 0.5 stars.
0.5.
Stitches. I mean,
not even a full stitch.
No, I would never watch that again. I'm sorry. It's not your fault at all.
It's a slip stitch.
It's a slip stitch. Even slip stitches are awesome. So anyway, how many stitches would you give it?
I was gonna at least give it like a 2 because
It's because of Bobcat, huh?
Yeah, he upped it from a 1.
Okay,
because I love Bobcat. He's so funny.
I mean, this is not against him, but
I didn't see the naked lady, but I did see the guy getting dragged off, and I thought it was cool the way they did like the vocalizations and the tree knocking, and they did the rocks and all the things that you associate with Bigfoot.
Authentic. Yeah,
I liked all of the songs were really fun. They were hilarious, and I liked when they were doing the research at the beginning, it was very like authentic, like how you would go into a Bigfoot documentary. So it was kind of fun to see the area and see all of that.
Yeah.
When they got into the tent, that's when it got slow.
Oh my gosh.
I think that was kind of on purpose because it was meant to be like amateur footage and not edited footage.
Right. Okay.
It wasn't edited.
Full circle. How did they find the footage then?
Somebody went to Bluff Creek and found their camera.
Because I feel like that camera like landed in their nest or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how they found it, but anyway,
Whatever. We'll figure that they found it. Okay. Well, yeah. Next time we're going to watch a better movie.
So not an exciting Bigfoot movie, but an exciting Bigfoot podcast. So thank you for joining us for another one.
Thank you.
If you want to support our wonderful little podcast, please go jump over to our Podbean. You can find us at podbean.com/TOS.
Yes.
And then you can find our little Patron page right there. Become a patron. Help support us. We will send you free stuff.
Please.
And we will make you free stuff.
We love making things.
And we will give you shout outs. And we will thank you and love you forever because it is just the two of us doing this little podcast.
Yeah.
We would love to have your support and have your friendship. And if you don't want to support us financially, you can always just email us or comment on any of our socials because we would love to connect with people of our community.
We love it.
So you can find us at any of the social medias, the Ominous Stitch Podcast. And you can also email us at theominousstitch@gmail.com.
And look for the Sasquatch.
Look for the Sasquatch. We're going to be giving him away. He's such a cute little derpy guy. I love him. Yeah, that was Sasquatch and not my dog that time.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, so I guess that's it. We've come to the end of another exciting episode. So until next time, we'll see you, Stitchers.